I'm Michael Candy, and as part of Catching Light here at Campbelltown, I collaborated with Marynowsky on a work we titled Fish and Chips. Fish and Chips kind of started as developing a way to interact with fish, really, and sort of orchestrate them underwater by attracting them using the sound of hitting rocks together in a sort of fish ballet. But the project soon led into using the same sort of ideals but with seagulls instead. So there's these two kind of binary opposites where you have underwater and in the sky, and these weird robot sculptures interacting with these creatures, seagulls and fish. I've spent many years tinkering and sort of just taking stuff apart, seeing how things work, and from there I've sort of developed a practice on... I like to sort of sum it up using the term instinctive engineering, where it's almost, it's engineering, but there's nothing quite calculated about it. It's more of a feeling than a certain, yes or no. This should be like this, and it will probably work. Another thing about the work too is there's a contrast between one thing, being submerged in the ocean, and one thing being interfacing with things in the air. And the works themselves are actually in the same way kind of binary opposites, where one is completely just as mechanical and basic as it could get because it had to be submerged, nothing could be too complex. Whereas the ones that are on dry land and throwing chips at seagulls, they're very much more digital, and there's quite a more complex sequence to how they function. So the works themselves, not only due to their environment, but due to the way they actually function, are like kind of binary opposites. So when building the work, it was a really intensive residency. That everything was, designed, built, filmed, and we figured out the install within a period of about 3 weeks. So one of the things that was so great about this collaboration was that normally I can get a bit too serious with work, and Wade was really good at encouraging, this parody or playing with Australian identity, and of course Australian seaside culture using, fish and chips is like, you can't say it's something that's just Australian, but it's definitely something you can relate to. And throwing chips at seagulls or going snorkeling in the bays, Gordon's Bay, it's sort of Australian pastime, but to make this weird work it's completely dislocated from a human interacting with these sort of environments. It's just this mechanical, simple thing that just repeats a function. So in that way, it's definitely a parody. It's taking Australian pastimes and creating something that is, no one's enjoying that except the fish or the seagulls. It's just a weird way to play that out, I guess.